And new this morning, the Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court ruling in favor of allowing the tipped minimum wage ballot initiative to proceed to the November ballot. Now, if it's enacted, the law would eliminate the separate minimum wage for tipped employees and allow employers to create tip pools to share the entire staff, including those who don't traditionally earn tips, such as back-of-house restaurant employees. Now, come the fall, Massachusetts residents will now have the opportunity to vote on this issue.